Children live what they learn, and that is something we take for granted. I have seen on social media where parents, guardians, whoever, of little children, toddlers, kids saying something that is inappropriate, and Rona on the internet to enable that by laughing and saying, "Ooh, lomntwana lona, ooh, maga apply to be a taxi driver." No, we cannot teach children that. Moral of the story. We went out with my friends on Saturday to take the kids out. When we were there are soccer fields in the play area. And then my son went to play, and he was playing with another boy that's about his age. And then the other boy he was playing with, his other friends, hit him with the ball. And I don't think it was just hit. I think it hit him really hard to a point where he said to the boy, my son is 6, and he said to the boy, "It is sorry, say sorry." And those boy refused to say sorry. So my son comes to me and says, "Mommy, that boy hit me with the ball and he's refusing to say sorry." I'm like, "Okay, I can leave him." But it's like, he didn't say sorry. And the thing is, it's about the principle, whether the child meant it or not. But for my son, it was important because we need to teach our children young that you need to be able to apologize when you are wrong. So now I am more worried about how this child is going to grow up if he is not taught to take accountability. There are things that other kids do, and then my son will go like, "Mommy, why does he do that?" Because I try my best. His dad and I try our best to teach him nobility. And I went down to my friends after I had to go and force the story out of this child. I had to go to my friends and say, "Hey, that child is so ill-mannered. He refused to say sorry to my son. Kanti the mother is sitting behind me." No, I didn't know it was the mother. And then the mother went. The other thing that would have made me, feel better, because I was not angry, but I was hurt because now my son is hurt and doesn't understand why this child can't say, "I'm sorry." That's 2 words, whether you mean it or not. It's about the principle. I would have appreciated if the mother had came and said, "Oh, sorry, that's my son. I'm sorry on his behalf." And I'm not going to judge or say anything about their household because I don't know how things are done. And yes, we do our best to instill good qualities, to tame, if I can put it that way, their characters into nobility. But you cannot really control what your child does. But I believe that if the mother had went and said, "Okay, bring your son, and then I'm going to say to my son to say sorry," then that will be a lesson for the child that the next time I don't want my mom to be the one coming here with another mother and a child and I have to say sorry. The thing is, if we do not teach our kids discipline or manners or nobility, and like I said, it's about the principle, they will embarrass us. They will embarrass us. And then you wonder why when your child doesn't want to get invited to stuff, when guys. And that's the thing with my son that I love about him. It's that for him, it's about the principle. Like, why don't you just say sorry? And the nice thing, the innocent part of it is that now he hasn't been able to distinguish between a person meaning sorry or not, which I appreciate, and it's good for me, because once he gets to a point where he understands that no, this person doesn't mean it, then it's gonna be another problem. So guys, can you please try to teach our sons to get along with other kids without bullying them? I do have a video where I spoke about another kid at some play area who punched him, I think, and then I had to run around the whole restaurant looking for this kid, but he had run away. So what does that mean? He knew that he did something wrong. That's why he ran away. And I think that child ran away so fast that I don't know what he said to their parents to leave, because I could not find them anyway. So let's be cognizant of what we say to our kids. Let's be cognizant of what we make our kids watch on TikTok, because I'm not gonna lie, my son, when I'm doing my TikToks, he watches with me, but when I can see or I know that it's a person who makes content that it's funny, but I don't want my son to know that, I scroll past it. Let's stop glamorizing abantwana, saying izinto is wrong. Let me say this. I was a certain character before my son was born, And I think a lot of people know how my lifestyle was, how my character was. I don't have the best of it. And like I say, sometimes I feel so bad that my son will have to find out some of these things, especially through social media. If I continue with social media, where somebody will say, yeah, so. And if my child is old enough, then he'll come and he say, Mommy, you used to do this, but you telling me not to do that. So that is why I am trying to do revision of my past and trying now to be a better person, because that is who I want to present myself to go my son. So if we are going to be parents that condone nonsensical behavior, or by letting ourselves encouraging our kids to have a bully mentality and then not being able to take accountability, then the future is in a dangerous place. My point here is that it's a matter of principle. It's finally into your you borrow me money, then now I don't pay you back. Instead of saying to you, you know what, I know I promised to pay you back on the 15th, but I really don't have the money. Can you give me the fact that you told the person, yes, they might need the money, yes, you promised them, but coming and being vulnerable and saying I don't have the money anymore, that's principle. So parents think it's funny when they are posting their kids. I know, which now my child, not personally, I will not put my son on social media, because I know that most kids that are put on social media is because they are saying terrible things that kids don't say. And Lorona, as a society, Lorona as mothers, Lorona as parents, Lorona as guardians, we encourage that and enable that, with saying, oh, this is so cute, oh, Lorona, hey, give him a taxi already. Hey. It can't be like that, because what foundation are we laying for our kids? A simple sorry from a kid shouldn't be hard. A simple sorry shouldn't be hard. So I'm wondering about the other kids that are around this child, and where's the one that ran away when we were at the previous restaurant. Because if you are going to be a parent that is covering for your child and shielding them from taking responsibility and accountability, next time you'll be standing in front of a court pleading that, judge, can you just give him grace? Can you not spend time alone? Can you not punish him by giving him more than 3 years in jail, when you could have fixed it? Let me speak for myself as well. When we could have fixed this thing of how we are raising our kids when they were young, how we grew up, or us having a certain character, that doesn't have to go to the child, which again goes back to this thing ya hore, yeah, nna ke bua haholo, my child o bua haholo, my child is smart, papa hae is smart. No, guys, no. And there are articles about it, that kids have their own characters. And what's this, I there's an article I don't remember where it is, where this guy is saying we do not own our kids. Let's look at it this way: God has entrusted us with lives. Like, you are bringing a statistic to this life. Do you understand how important that is? And if you're not going to instill good values in your child while they are still a toddler, how are you going to instill it when they are 16? Because now they will be doing big things, and you will not be able to bring it back and say, my child, because my child's going to be like, you didn't teach me when I was 3, why are you teaching me today? I don't know that. So let's just try to teach our kids simple things like sorry, especially because our kids, Bona, they cannot distinguish to distinguish an unmeaningful sorry and not a meaningful sorry. So let's just try to set a very good example for our kids in terms of values. And the power of principle is very important. And the one thing, I will not let any child bully my son. And I tell them, please tell them that my mom is crazy. And I don't mean crazy, yeah, bipolar. I mean crazy as in like, I am going to make sure that kids know that if I do something to this child, the mother is gonna come and cause a scene. And that scene, who is it embarrassing? The parents. So as much as we think, yes, my child is doing this, at the end of the day, we judge you. We do not judge the child. We judge you. So do you want to be judged? You can't be judged on your own stuff and then come with judged for your kids. No, guys, let's do better as parents. Let us do better. Teach our kids good values to make their characters good.